Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval Creek. Today we'll be reviewing the first aircraft setup for the Furious aircraft carrier in the British Tech Tree. But before we do that, let's just go over a little bit about the ship herself. So this is a matchmaking tier 6, so we'll be going up against Independences and Royhos for the most part. And she is quite similar to both of those other carriers. So let's take a look at the stats. We have 44,300 health, 15% torpedo damage resistance, up to 3 inches of armor. Looks to be on the belt, it looks like. I haven't really had a chance to test the armor of the ship against surface targets, so I don't really know how it works. And it doesn't look like she has an armored deck either, so yeah, she seems pretty squishy. We have 6 secondary gun turrets. We now have dual guns. We have one up here. We have one on this side, one on that side, one here, one there, and then one astern as well. So we have a nice assortment of secondaries. However, like I said, no carrier should ever be a secondary brawler purposely unless you're Graf Zeppelin. We have 40 aircraft total, which is a little less than Royho at 48. And Independence gets something like, let's see, a 36. So she actually has a little bit of a middle range in the terms of aircraft. AA guns, we have 32 of them. We have outer and middle damage, which is actually pretty decent, especially the middle ring damage. So I expect her anti-aircraft defenses to be pretty powerful. I do have her fully AA spec. Let's see here, what else do we have? Speed of 30 knots, so she's not terribly slow either. She's pretty fast, just like Royho and Independence. And then we have upgrades to our dive bombers, fighters, and torpedo bombers. And so let's see what we have. Fighters, you get more health, more speed, more kill efficiency, but you lose almost half your ammo. Honestly though, that little bit of health does come in handy, I think. Torpedo bombers, you get all upgrades. And dive bombers, you get all upgrades. So there should be no problem in getting those either. We have 2 air groups. We have one that we will be going over today, which is 1 squadron of 5 fighters, 1 squadron of 5 torpedo bombers, and 2 squadrons of 5 dive bombers. And then we have one that is pretty much the exact opposite, with fighters having 2 squads, torpedo bombers having 1 squadron, and dive bombers having 1 squadron. So, without further ado, let's toss into a game with the first setup, that being with the 2 dive bombers, and see how we can do today. Alright, here we saw the game. 1 carrier, looks like 6 battleships, and 5 cruisers. No destroyers, which is actually really good for me. I might have mentioned this yesterday, but I'm really not good in this carrier at all. I don't think I've won a single game yet. So hopefully, with the practice that I've put in these videos the last few weeks, I will be able to actually be useful in this ship. Alright, so we're going to start by heading this way. Going to bring all of our aircraft out this way. Let's see here. Tier 6 is where we start having strong AA, like Dunkirk's and Queen Elizabeth's and Atlanta's, all 3 of which are in the enemy team. So hopefully we can avoid those to the best of our ability, or at least single them out. I do have health buffs and speed buffs applied at this time, so do keep that in mind. Alright, so all of our aircraft are heading out. Let's see here. Cruisers should be relatively okay, at least the Arthusans and Nürnbergs. And then everything else we'll just have to slowly work on. Alright, let's scout a little bit with our fighters to see what we have coming our way. Okay, so we have a Repulse, a Bayern, another Repulse, Arthusa, There is an Atlanta and a number. Wow, there's a ton of ships coming this way. I am actually already going to turn around. I already lost a fighter from that Atlanta. So let's bring our strike aircraft over here instead and see what we can do against these ships. Though there's a Queen Elizabeth and a Dunkirk on this side, so still not really able to do anything. And another Atlanta. See, this is the part where you just don't have enough aircraft to really be effective. I only have 5 spare fighters, 5 spare torpedo bombers, and 10 spare dive bombers, so another squadron of each of those. Oh, there's the Atlanta again. So I really can't do anything until those Atlantas are gone. And this one is being worked on a little bit. Let's see if I can run some interference on these torpedo bombers. That does put me in range of AA from Atlanta, but I have an Atlanta myself over here. So hopefully that will help. Alright, so we lost our Atlanta. Can we sink their Atlanta now? We lost our fighter squadron, so we already went through half of our fighters. Alright, so that Atlanta goes down. That one is still very much up though, but let's see what we can do. Bringing in our torpedo bombers. We have a Repulse and a Nuremberg, and then a Queen Elizabeth and a Dunkirk. So we're going to try and aim for this first group if they survive long enough, honestly. Let's see what that does. We are losing quite a few aircraft. Alright, and it doesn't matter, since she went down anyways. Alright, the Nuremberg is going to run into this wreck, so she'll be a perfect stationary target for my dive bombers. 6 of which received hits. Awesome. You know what, let's go work on the carrier. We need to have our team work down this group before we can actually do anything. But if we take out the carrier, then that helps us a little bit. Though I think we're going to have ourselves versus the entire enemy team for the most part. Yeah, I have a bad feeling about this game. I really don't think we're going to win this one either. But we can try. Let's keep moving this way. Keep our fighters in front of us to protect against any carrier aircraft attack. I'm actually going to use my fighters to protect my torpedo bombers. That way I get my strike off. Yeah, see, we already lost one. Let's see, how is that? Looks pretty decent, actually. Can we sink her? No, no sinking. But we severely damaged her, and the dive bomber should be able to do some more. Maybe even finish her. Yep, there you go. Awesome. Alright, so yeah, we're still pretty much all of us versus the enemy team. But let's see if we can cap C to help us. Since it looks like everything is coming down this way, and the rest of our team is coming down from the north. They still have an Atlanta though. Let's bring our torpedo bombers out over here. My fighters are really not doing anything. That's funny, actually. Alright. So it looks like... Okay, so both Atlantas are now down. The Queen Elizabeth is almost down. The Dunkirk is still pretty healthy. But we can work with her. Looks like she'll be focused on in a moment. Alright, let's see if we can knock some ships out of the game. Alright, let's see what we can do against this Bayern. Get some fires on her, perhaps, to start her burning. 2 fires. More. Got some flooding or torpedo hits on the repulse. We're gonna cap C here. Might as well put on our def AA. My fighters don't need to have ammo to be effective. How is my team looking? Oh, we have 1 Bayern left. Cool. Alright, so we just need to start working on them one at a time now. I think my dive bombers are going to really come in clutch here, because I still have all 10 spares, even though my torpedo bombers are almost pretty much gone. So let's actually bring them over here. Well, let's see what... No, let's bring them over here, because I can use them to finish off this Bayern. Then use the dive bombers for something else. So maybe something like that. Alright, well, we can finish her off later. Let's see here. I need to do something about this repulse, I guess. Well, maybe we can finish off the Arethusa first. We missed with the second one, but we did set 2 fires. See, the Nuremberg can see us, and we're being shot at currently. Torpedo bombers for this Bayern. Get those back out. We sank the Arethusa, so that helps us a little in regards to points. Alright, the Bayern is healing, but I feel like we should be able to take care of it. A lot of these targets are pretty low, but I don't think we can do it. Ooh, that repulse is still coming our way. Alright, maybe we can finish off this Bayern. We'll have to have a good drop on her. That looks pretty good right there. Awesome. Alright, let's see what else we can do now. We can probably finish off this Queen Elizabeth. And then head back north. Because I really don't want to be in a brawl with a repulse. Alright, let's see if that finishes off the... Why are you circling around? Alright, so I don't know why my squadrons are just not deciding to listen to me anymore. Well, because 4 already dropped and she missed. Alright, cool. So that was a waste of time. Alright, so I think we can secondary brawl this Nuremberg. However, I don't really want to. So we may not have a choice. I definitely need to get rid of this Queen Elizabeth, though. So we sank the Queen Elizabeth. We're about to sink the Nuremberg with our secondaries soon. We need Squad 3 to come out. We need the fires out. Repulse as much as possible. The game really doesn't like me today. Okay, I did move to not drop there. But the game doesn't. I like that idea. Let's see, what else are we coming into? Bayern and the Dunkirk. Yeah, we're definitely losing this game. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I think we did pretty good so far. Alright, so let's see what we can do with the last little bit of health we have. We didn't really have a good drop on this repulse. Maybe the dive bombers can do something? Doesn't matter, we're sunk. Alright, so let's see how we did. As I told you, I'm not really good in this ship. But we still were able to do 150,000 damage, 5 ships sunk, 16 torpedo hits, 30 bomb hits, 16 aircraft shot down, 9 fires, 4 floodings, 1 occupied base, 6 defended caps, and 62 secondary hits for 2,400 base damage, or base XP. We had 21,000 damage in fires and floodings, 8,000 damage in secondary battery, 82,000 damage in torpedoes, and 37,000 damage in bombs. So pretty strike oriented, but if you're going up against ships like Dunkirk and Atlanta and Queen Elizabeth, you're going to lose a ton of aircraft. And that entire giant blob in the middle of the map there, that didn't help either. And they just kind of focused down our entire team in the meantime. So unfortunately, it's a defeat, but yeah, this carrier, though it may have a lot of good capabilities, I feel like she actually struggles quite a bit. With that, I will wrap up today's video. If you liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe, and join me tomorrow while we go over the second aircraft layout. So again, thank you, and take care.